Hey boys, we're in Fort Lauderdale. So all this said, and there's a reason why we're here, because Euro Prestige Imports is actually bringing two in to the Charlotte market. We actually have a Hellcat coming in as a second unit, but the first one will be a diesel, okay? All our reason of being here is actually to show you the piece and that Jerry can go a little bit through it, and we're gonna have this thing very soon in Charlotte, North Carolina.
This is the Apocalypse Hellfire, a real deal 6x6. This one that sits in front of us is a 392 tried and true Mopar tested engine. That's about 497 horses, and then we tune it to about 550. So this thing has a real growl to it. In this truck, you could put out about 800 horsepower nonstop. We use our patented 6-wheel drive technology by using a tandem middle axle to make this a fully functional super truck. And it looks pretty damn cool. The interior is something that really people love. Why? Because it's customizable. So the colors that you want, the pattern that you want to achieve, we can do it all here at Apocalypse. This specific truck that's sitting in front of you has a perforated tile pattern interior. That was specific to the customer. He wanted a ballistic plate on the dash and on the T-top and the roof on the back. He wanted something that looked so incredibly bold, but he wanted to be a black, dark, shining night when you see it all together. Now, some other of the options on the interior, you're gonna have a pod switch. The pod switch allows you to control all the exterior and interior lights. The cool thing that you're gonna know about these off-road vehicles is they come with LED cubes, LED light bars, as well as rock lights throughout the entire truck. So when you're at night, you could actually make the truck blue in a facet of different light patterns. You could also time it to your music, so you can get your halo headlights to actually move depending on the song and the beat that you're listening to. Why? People love to customize the truck to their mood, and that's exactly what we do with the lighting. The screens too. You could have an 8.4-inch touchscreen, or you could do the big boy, which is the 12-inch Tesla-style tablet. That gives you complete control of the truck, and it connects directly to your iPhone. Some of the other great options that this truck has, well, you have 24/7 rear view camera. And why do you need that? Because you have this awesome Cybertruck style slant back that we have a design patent on. And with that, it does limit your back, but guess what? You got a recording 24/7 digital camera right there on your rear view. One of the other really cool options that I absolutely love, and why we start with a Jeep chassis for the Hellfire, is that it disassembles. You could actually take all 4 doors off, take your 2 T-tops off in the front and the roof off in the back, and make it a total beach cruiser. Take it out, enjoy, be a convertible super truck. Now, who else can do that? Here's one of the coolest things that I love about this truck. Every single Apocalypse build, since it's customized by the customer, basically making the customer Pininfarina. You're designing a sports super truck yourself. So guess what? Your name should be on the badging. So right here you can see this specific truck is a Hellfire 500 horsepower, build number 146, signed by our owner Joe Gaddis, and it's built for Shannon and Jason. That's their specific truck. If you take a look at the outside, I love the outside. The most aggressive, medieval, barbaric design that you could ever see on a truck. And we build all the parts right here in-house at Apocalypse 6x6. Let's start with the front, because everyone needs to have a mean looking front. This is a 1/4 inch steel grumper that we produce. It has a vicious look to it, but it's going to allow that powerful engine to breathe through the vents. It's also going to have a 9,500 pound winch. So if you need to tow someone out, which happens all the time, this is gonna do the trick for you. Here's the rigid LED headlights like I was talking about for the interior. This gives you control of the outside. And of course, the halo headlight. Whatever mood you're in, you change the color. Every Apocalypse has an emblem, and that is a point that we truthfully love. Any badass vehicle needs to have a symbol. What did we pick? Nuclear holocaust, mushroom cloud destroying the world. That's what the Apocalypse is all about. If that scenario ever takes place and World War III is a reality, this is the truck you're gonna wanna be in. It has a custom fiberglass hood. Well, Jerry, why are you using fiberglass over steel? Steel adds weight to the vehicle and steel can rust over time. So we make fiberglass to enhance the speed, make it aerodynamic, and get rid of the rust. So this thing could last a lifetime. You also notice the windshield. It has what we make in-house called a windshield guardian. It gives a real badass look to it. It comes with our special rigid light bar that plugs right into on top, and it protects the windshield. If you're doing some off-roading, there's gonna be rocks, there's gonna be branches, there's gonna be other things that could potentially compromise the integrity of it. This is gonna protect you. Speaking of protection, what's better protection than a Kevlar coating? And that's what the Apocalypse series of truck has. It's a 3-part epoxy that takes 120 different man-hours disassembling, sanding down, prepping before it could actually take this proprietary blend that we make in-house. It only takes 8 seconds to cure, so the painter has to be extremely accurate as how he sprays it. But once it does, it's locked in. The pigment is literally baked into the epoxy, meaning you can scratch this and it's not gonna do anything. It's gonna always be black. As well as if rocks or tree branches or something hits it, you're gonna be absolutely 100% protected. Moving around the side, you have our awesome open fender flares. We call them our armored fenders. And they almost look like a dragon gill when you see it up close, but it is absolutely functional as well besides the awesome design. You want to expose this wheel well so you could put a 40-inch massive tire like this Nito Trail Grappler on it. So we could go with a 22-inch rim, a 40-inch tire, open the wheel well, and let that baby breathe. Why? Because if you're gonna launch the thing or if you're gonna do rock climbing, wheels need travel, mobility, and that's what this does. You put our aluminum fender liners on the inside, and now you're protecting your engine bay, you're protecting your suspension, and aluminum doesn't rust, which is the best part. Once again, eliminate the rust. You don't want to drive a rust bucket, and this is a super truck, so it can't have any rust. If you go back to the side, you know, one of the cool features is my wife loves to wear her Christian Louboutin. No, she wants a step that travels all the way down so it could lift her up and put her in the truck. If grandparents, if you have grandkids, it works perfectly. I know my 2 kids love running in and out of the truck, and that side step is an absolute huge help. Moving on to the back, we have 2 giant 40-inch tires in this big exposed wheel well. Once again, we're utilizing a bigger fender liner branded with our Hellfire, which is this slant back model. We have these big, beautiful tires that are so close to each other. Well, Jerry, why are they so close to each other? They're so close because you want these tires to work in harmony with each other. And right here is our patented middle axle, and that allows it to work harmonious. So they're not fighting each other when you have to make turns or when you're climbing. At any point, there will always be 4 wheels on the ground with this truck. If you need 6 though to climb that mountain, you have it. We started our middle axle saying, can we make a 6-wheel truck that won't rattle itself to death and people can take on long distance road trips? And we did that. With this luxury middle axle, we actually built it, tried and true tested it, and then put a utility patent on it, so only us. I don't want to say who's calling us up, but there's a lot of competitors that you would know about that are calling us up asking to buy our middle axle because they've seen it function and they've seen them on the highway, and nothing's better. Another awesome part about why we make this a 6-wheel drive vehicle is for the extended tow capacity. When you have 6 wheels, it operates like a dually. It's gonna help your tow. It's gonna help your haul capacity as well. And then when you look at this patented design, slant back, it's opening up your load capacity. So some people, believe it or not, buy this super truck as a commercial vehicle. Well, it weighs over 7,000 pounds. It's a depreciating asset come tax time. Put it in the company's name. And when you do that, it could actually function in a real way. Use it for towing, use it for hauling, or hell, just park the thing right in front of your business and watch people flock to say, what is it? You know something that I don't. I need to start talking to you. If we get all the way here to the back, you'll see we run a dual straight pipe exhaust. That gives the engine its growl that you're used to. It also adds some horsepower to the truck. And it looks really damn good too. Badass slant back, which is the #1 reason people go with the Hellfire. If you take off the slant back and put a full-size spare, tire carrier, that's called our Sinister 6 model. It's really awesome, and people that like pickup trucks like that one. I personally like this one though, because people don't know what the heck it is. They think an invasion's imminent. This takes a 6-foot bed and turns it into an 8-foot bed. It also is a steel construction that will roll up, meaning nothing could get in there. And check this out, it has a lock. So if you're coming from the airport and you want to do some fun and you have to put your baggage in there, you lock up your valuables right here and you're safe to go. Heck, if you have to do some zombie hauling for the apocalypse, you're ready to go too. Just throw it right back there, throw the dead zombie bodies back there, and you're ready to go. And it's real easy too. When you take away some of the electrical function, it's good, because if you're doing off-roading, electrical things seem to fail. So we made it a very easy pulley system. You throw it back with one hand, you pull it back with the other, and it locks just like that. So this is the Apocalypse Hellfire. We covered a lot of bases with it. It's a pretty awesome truck.
What's the real time of production on usually these vehicles?
Honestly, right now we're producing them on a turbo diesel, honestly around 45 days. With the way the shop is moving, we can get these bad boys out on a turbo diesel engine, which is my favorite engine, Italian Moteri engine, designed by Fiat and Ferrari. I love it, and that is the quickest turnaround time.
One of the reasons for the Hellcat, it goes up, technicality, what's the main purpose?
You know, basically you're taking, I think, the strongest American engine ever built, and you're putting it in a very small engine bay. And to do that, we have to really make sure it has the mechanical aptitude to function the way it does. You'll know about superchargers and an engine that puts out 800 horsepower, it's gonna run hot. And when you have that much room to do it, things are gonna touch each other. So we have to put heat shields, we have to put our proprietary metal parts to separate things, and we have to put different extensions on it to make sure it's operating with its full capacity. Because the worst thing that could happen is you're out there beasting it in front of all these people and all of a sudden you have a problem with the engine.
I want to thank you, Jerry, for receiving us in such a quick notice, okay? I'm looking forward to it. And I have to tell you one thing, shockingly to say, when I saw the product in real, it just changed my whole vision, okay? So keep on watching, man.